Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can see the super chat scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure what's going on with the super chat, but we'll check that out as well. But you can also donate to the Cash App. Just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. So this is a Canton Network video. And let me start the screen share and see what we can see. So on the screen share, this is the Canton Network price. Currently, Canton Network is at the 16-cent mark. It was at 17 cents, came down. On the hour, it's up 0.8. For the day, it's up 7.4. For the week, it is up 14.6. And for the month, it is up 25.4. I was actually at a Bitcoin conference and someone told me to look into it. And I was like, I don't know. But it is doing pretty well. Currently, CoinMarketCap has it up 7.54. Just want to double check. Market cap is 6.2 billion, up 7.56 or 7.6 actually. 24-hour trading volume is 25.2 million, up 85.62%. You can see here seems to be doing pretty well. Canton Network is what the financial institutions are using for payment processing and doing bank. This is Canton has been holding a tight consolidation range. These phases usually don't last. The price action on CC keeps getting compressed, with sellers losing strength and buyers absorbing supply quietly. This kind of structure often builds energy for a strong move. Once Canton breaks out of this range, momentum can expand quickly. This one of my top picks for the bull run. And a lot of people saying this might be a good one to pick up on the side. It's not financial advice, it's just for entertainment purposes. For the hour, it is up 0.99%. For the day, it's up 8.29. For the week, it's up 15.5. For the month, it is up 22.7. There's nothing for 90 days because I don't know if it's even been around 90 days yet. Or for the year, we don't even have those statistics yet. But let's go back to X. This is their homepage. This is Canton. Wasn't designed for cycle. It was designed for production. Built deliberately over years alongside institutions. Momentum comes from fundamentals. The work continues. The Canton Network isn't a new project. They've been building for 10 years and already running institutional finance. 10 plus years in development, live institution finance. So that's what I'm saying. It's not even a new product. They're just telling us about it. And I've been telling you guys, they're slick with it, man. They get it, they build it, they work on it, then they tell us about it later on, right? So let me know what you guys think about it. On-chain capital markets need privacy, compliance, and composability. Chip 56 drivers, think KR or ERC20 built for regulated finance, sub-tax privacy, compliance native, atomic DVP, composable across Canton. And with quick start, you can go from zero to live fast. So I actually need to check that out. I don't even know all this information they're talking about either, but it is on their X page. So make sure you join the BTM Crypto News Network to stay up to date. Here is a quick part of the video where they're talking about it as well. Let's run this video real quick.
And I thoroughly enjoyed when it got to 5. Remember, I'm a swing trader. So if you think that I sometimes talk about projects and then I rotate to another project, yes, I sure do. And the reason why I've recently rotated to talking about Canton, well, here you see that the Easy Labs, that's Binance, is now a super validator. In fact, 25 new validators were announced on the Canton Network yesterday. L Bank Exchange, yes, they do what, 2.8 billion in 24-hour volume. Then you have Coinbase, who is pulling in 1.8 billion in 24-hour volume, and Gemini, which is, yes, at the 2 to 600 million 24-hour volume, respectively. Canton, which has the coin CC, has broken into the top 20. They're sitting at 19 at market cap. And wow, they've got a 14.8% 24-hour gain, sitting at just a little over 17 cents. If they hit that 17.57, they will have exceeded their all-time high. It's looking very possible. And I want you to not sleep on the Yellow Network. They have a technology stack that has incorporated the XRPL EVM sidechain. Let me read a quote from the chairman. For Ripple, the growth of its stablecoin RLUSD to a $1.4 billion market cap is the missing piece of the puzzle. Success lies in the synergy whereby a compliant stablecoin provides the stability while XRP concurrently provides the speed. This is in reference to the RLUSD on the XRP ledger being incorporated very shortly in Binance.
So this is also another snippet about Canton Network. Canton Network is not a new Canton Network is not a new crypto, guys. They've been around. They're just telling us about it. I think that says 2023, but let's see what this guy's talking about.
Started in 2023, and there was a couple players that started it. There was Deloitte and Vert Capital, and you guys remember Vert Capital from my previous videos with XRP and XDC. So why is this important? In 2023, this was private, so no one could buy it. Only recently did they release a coin to the public in Q4 of 2025. So this is important because recently DTCC, which is massive in the market, worked with them to tokenize some of their assets on the Canton Network. And who is DTCC? DTCC is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. And so these are the folks that facilitate, they're pretty much the middleman for all of your trades from the stock exchange to your local bank account. They provide that peace of mind for both companies because of that 2-day settlement period. They're the ones that help facilitate that. And so they worked with the Canton Network, and they're going to do a subset of these treasuries for 2026. So they started that already. So DTCC has been around for a while, and this is their homepage. And wanted to show you tokenization is one of their very first bullet points. And so the entire market is moving towards tokenization, and it just depends on which network they're going to choose. And so right now they're working with the Canton Network, and this is huge for this type of market because every single trade that's on the trading floor could potentially go through the Canton Network. They're raised about $135 million back in June 24, 2025. So they took on debt by Citadel. So they're big people, and Circle. And also, they also work with Global Synchronizer Foundation. And who are these folks? They're with Goldman Sachs, Hong Kong, and Moody. So I talked about Moody with XRP, pretty much rating these rating these assets that are moving on chain. But I'm bringing this up because there's a lot of big players, and there isn't going to be just this one coin that's going to rule them all. It's going to be multiple networks, multiple coins, and I really think XRP, XLM is going to be a tier 1 settlement. And they're going to have these supporting networks like XCC, Canton Network, and HBAR. But one thing about Canton Network that I personally don't like is that it's not ISO 20022 compliant, but it doesn't seem like these institutions seem to care. But we'll see about the regulation that comes in. So the smart contracts, pretty much the code that governs these tokenization, it's called the DAML ledger. And so they're an interoperability protocol. Essentially, it's just code. The contract lives there. And I talked about in the past, it's just code that lives on their network. It's nothing new. Everyone, in my opinion, likes to talk about how theirs is better than the other one. In my opinion, it really just matters if, the banks choose you or someone important chooses you, then, they just adopt them. And so feel free to argue with me in the comments, but that's kind of how I see it. Real estate tokenization on the Canton Network. So about 326 trillion, it's global market. If it gets tokenized, they could put it on the contract, the DAML contract. It's just code that lives on there, but Canton provides the privacy. So I think that's part of the reason why institutions like that. And I've talked about that with XTC, where I think privacy is going to be the number one thing. They want private settlement. So the token gets created through these contracts. They get privacy. Investors are happy. Clearinghouse is happy. And then really the whole point of that is to borrow against it. So it's just the point of the token is to have it on your balance sheet, like Deloitte said, and then pretty much raise capital, borrow against it, and go forth. So really the private settlement is going to matter most for especially like clearinghouses. You don't want the entire world knowing that you placed a trade. And so that makes sense for most people. And that's kind of what I'm trying to focus the most on is like, who's going to tap into the real estate market? I'm not seeing one coin that's going to take over. And so, but private settlement, I think is going to be the key. And so Canton Network provides that private settlement for institutional investors. And hopefully we'll start seeing it in our local market. But the tokenomics of the Canton Network is a little interesting. So essentially it's CC is the native token, and they just released it in Q4 of 2025. And they just started tokenizing some of the basically the assets, the DTC security treasuries on the network. So they just started that in 2026. And the whole point of this coin is to manage the network. So when you run the network, you get rewarded as a validator. So app builders are going to be incentivized to use the Canton Network. And if there is already institutional adoption, I think that's going to be a plus for this coin. There isn't a pre-mine, but there is about 37.5 billion in circulating supply. So know that affects the price. So the more coins that there are in the market, that's going to affect the price. 2.5 billion annual burn. We got about 500 plus validators and then super validators. So super validators get more of the reward than validators. And to be a validator, I have to double check, but you have to register and then also put up the capital. Users pay the fees. So when you use the network, you're going to pay the coin, the CC coin. Coin gets burned, but then some of the coin gets minted, and that gets paid to the validators and people who use the network. Yeah, the validators earn. So really, the whole to burn the token creates a supply shortage, which pushes up the price. And the more activity that's on the network, like clearinghouses, it's going to create more of a deflationary effect. But we're going to be watching that. And really what I'm going to be focused on with this coin is app providers, because that's kind of where I see most of these coins going. Whoever is going to use that network and wherever that capital is flowing, and the more providers that are on the network, that's the coin that I want to focus on.
So as I mentioned, Canton Network will be doing big things, guys. Just keep an eye on it and let me know what you think. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But I do think Canton Network will be something big in the bull run. But as always, do your own research and let me know what you think. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. And remember, stay dangerous and let's get back to the money. And as always, it's your main man, BTM, signing out. Miner out.